Hey, what's up? This is Bryce Avery of the Rocket Summer, and here are 5 tour tips. My first tour tip would have to just be prepared as possible. I have been touring for quite some time, and I just had to learn, like, I know every in and out of every cable, I'm like a full-blown tech when it comes to all of our gear. I have a lot of gear. I use a lot of pedals, a lot of loopers, a lot of, you know, in-ear stuff, wireless stuff. We have a light show, and just being as prepared as possible is so important. And that way too you can get all that done, be rehearsed, and then that way on tour it's just fun, because once you get on tour it's like you never deal with it again. So that's probably my first tip. Yeah, so my second tip would probably be just take care of yourself. Touring can be, it's the most fun life ever, but you meet a bunch of people, which is awesome, which is why it's so great, but you know, it's almost never that a cold doesn't happen on the tour, on the bus, and then you're just like hoping it doesn't get to you. Which colds are not that big of a deal, but when you're a singer, it can be kind of a pretty big deal. If you lose your voice, you can't sing and can't play the show. So vitamin C, take your vitamins. I hate to sound like a mom right now, but it's true. Third tour tip, I gotta think about it. I would probably just say, you know, Yelp is a good tool, because you can find out where the best food is, the best coffee is. That's always, you know, essential on tours. You know, your whole day you might not be able to leave the vicinity of where you are, and so if there's a chance to go eat like a good meal, it makes all the difference in the world. So that's good. Fourth tip, you gotta take it easy. You gotta work hard, but you gotta take it easy. I mean, it's an art form, like knowing how to live on the road with a bunch of people, especially when you're not in a bus. I mean, we've done plenty of non-bus tours where you're having to drive everywhere and you're in a van and you're not getting a lot of sleep, and I think just trying to take it as easy as possible around your brethren is important. For me, I generally, even though it's like I'm kind of I sort of steer the whole ship of this band and this project, I certainly am strict about the show and the music and the art and the production, but I generally like to take a back seat when it comes to just the nightly hangs and stuff, and just let everybody else do whatever they want. And you know, when it comes to where people are eating and what we're doing, I try to not be that guy, just because I'm that guy enough with the music. And so yeah, just take it easy. That's probably the best thing, and just think about others around you. That whole, like, you know, do unto others thing. You know, sometimes it can be hard to actually put yourself in the shoes of someone else on tour, but over time you learn that, and it's a pretty harmonious thing. Say thank you a lot when people do a good job. That's pretty crucial, and another easy thing to forget about when you're running a million miles an hour. But you know, praising people for when they do well is definitely a good thing on tour. And the fifth, and maybe the most important one for me, is just staying inspired. There's so much inspiration, there's songs and everything you look at, it's just sometimes hard to pull the songs out and kind of see what your surroundings are telling you, and so trying to find a little time, if you can, to get away and listen to music or just see what the city has to offer is really important. I've been touring for so long that I frequently don't leave the area I'm in, but I actually like that, because I live for the shows and for the music. And so you know, some people would say a really good tour tip is actually separating from the music. I would say that's probably a really healthy one. I don't know how to do that. I don't really like get too deep into Netflix shows and stuff like that. If anything, I read to try to find inspiration to write. But I'm trying to get better at watching TV shows. Watch Peaky Blinders. Watch that whole season. It was amazing. Stranger Things. Watched all that. And then we were off tour. I finally started watching Breaking Bad. Like, this is like maybe a year ago, and I watched, the only thing I did for about a week and a half was watch this show. I didn't do anything else. And then when I would leave the house, I was like looking at everyone differently, and I realized I wasn't getting anything done. So I still haven't finished Breaking Bad. Man, I've left myself hanging on that. But yeah, so you know, bottom line, just have a good time. It can be really easy to get worn down on the road, and then you get off the road and you're like, whoa, that's the best life ever, playing music. And you know, for me, I'm not addicted to any kind of like, I don't know, fame or whatever you want to call it. I'm not famous, but I think the thing that I'm addicted to is seeing music come alive and see people in a room come alive to the music, and all be kind of sharing in one collective moment together, discovery and escape all at the same time. It's a pretty beautiful thing to get to be a part of. So that's why I'm constantly just like fighting for it in the back, writing. But I love it. It's not hard to fight for something you love. So